the moments when we feel gratitude in our hearts, when they feel as though they are ready to burst open in disbelief that love and life and joy as this can be possible. I believe are liminal moments when we can imagine that veil between heaven and earth being lifted or more open so we can step into something that is beyond us and lifts our hearts. This is always why we begin our Eucharistic prayer with the words, lift up your hearts, because we want our hearts lifted in praise and song and gift and joy, so that we may bless God with our thanksgiving, so that we may receive the thanksgiving of God through the blessing of the sacrament and through God's love. So we say it is a right and a good and joyful thing always and everywhere to give thanks to you, Father Almighty. And today I'm going to give you a wonderful, marvelous reason to open your heart in gratitude, because we will hear Brian Helman playing the piano again. As you all know, about 10 months ago, Brian sustained injury that was very life-threatening and left him in a coma, as well as paralyzed on his left side. And so we knelt in prayer and we gathered our community in a candlelight vigil and we prayed our hearts out in trust that somehow all would be well. We didn't know whether we were praying for a miracle or whether we were praying for a peaceful and loving transition into what is next. But we believed that God needed to be a part of it, and we called God into the situation in prayer. And of course, Brian regained consciousness. And so over these last 10 months, people have been showing love and devotion and praying for him. And I've been visiting with the sacrament of the Holy Eucharist on a regular basis, which every time I see him receive and we share that, I see God's work within his heart and his soul. And so God has done marvelous work. And Brian has done marvelous and hard and tiring and frustrating work, but he is so wanting to claim his life again, that he has something within his heart and soul, beauty and truth and joy, that he wants to again express in his music, and we are so glad. My only regret in all of this is that Ivy Craker is no longer with us. As many of you know, Ivy was a long-standing member of our parish, and when she heard about Brian's injury, and really in the moment when his recovery seemed least possible, she walked right up to me and said, "Barbara, he's going to be back. He will get this miracle." And we are grateful, Ivy, to you for your love and your faithfulness and your clarity about how with God all things are possible when we open our hearts to the recovery and the healing which God desires for us. And so we use this music that Brian played for me and for us on Monday as a beginning of our meditation time. Often we'll read something or offer a certain prayer, but I believe Brian's music is a prayer. It is that what opens us to and connects us to the divine. And so afterwards, one of the members said, oh, she could just imagine God's delight, of God laughing and dancing and rejoicing and saying, look what I did. Look what love did. And of course, that's the truth of this, of our reality, is that love is what drives miracles. Love is the force that will work hard within us to allow us to bring out all that we can and all that we wish to reveal of God in this world. And so when Brian played for me the first time a few weeks ago, he sat down on the piano bench and looked up and said, well, Merry Christmas, Mother Barbara. And I just kind of chuckled because I know Brian knew it was not Christmas, but I also knew that Brian knew it was the best gift that I and all of us can receive in this moment. And so on Monday when I said, you know, would you like to record something for us to use in the weekly video? And he said, oh yes, he'd love to do that. And I said, you know, pick whatever you want, of course. And he said, you know, I want to play some Christmas carols. I haven't even thought about them for quite a while, but I think we should get practicing and getting prepared for our Christmas season. And of course that delighted me that Brian is imagining a way that he can participate with us this Christmas. And so you will hear Christmas carols from Brian very shortly. And I think there's a deeper meaning that why Brian is pulling himself or being pulled toward the Christmas carols or the images of Christmas, because Christmas is all about the inbreaking of God's love and beauty and truth and joy into our world. And yes, it did happen those 2,000 years ago, but we also believe that the incarnation continues to unfold in the miracles big and small and in our lives. And so let us rejoice. Let us enter into the truth of God as we hear Brian play. You may want to close your eyes and just let the music wash over you, however you want to enter into and be changed by. I'm so happy I can offer this to you from Brian.